Spencer Linton teamed up with Jerem Jordan. Let's add a third member to our now 3-on-3 team. He is Jimmer Fredette, joining us on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline via Skype. Jimmer, great to talk to you, man. Great to see your face. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you guys, too. How are you?
We're okay. We're just wondering how you're doing with all of this, having to come back from Greece and having an abrupt end to your season. So walk us through the emotions of what you're going through right now.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a season unlike any other season I've ever been a part of, as for all professional athletes at this point, and collegiate athletes. So it's been crazy, but I was able to make it home back to the U.S. about 3 days ago, which I'm real grateful for. So to be back with the family and being kind of a quarantine setting and staying home with them, but it's better than being over in Greece by yourself, which I know a lot of athletes are right now, overseas by themselves without their families. So my heart goes out to all those guys because I've been in that position before, and I'm just glad to be home and safe here in the U.S.
Walk us through what it was like in Greece with everything that was going on.
Yeah, we saw the news as it was going on in China first. And as it kind of, slowly crept into, different parts of the world, it started to creep into some parts of Europe, especially Italy, at first. And, we're pretty close to Italy. So we knew at some point that, it could be a factor to come into Greece. And so they started to take some precautions, but nothing crazy at first. And then once Italy really started to explode, that's when everything started to, kind of shut down, and they started to closed restaurants and different things around the area, and ultimately, suspended the season for this point.
Jimmer, up until the unfortunate and indefinite suspension of the season, how was your time in Greece as a professional basketball player?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, Athens is a really cool city. I loved being there. My family loved it there. I had some of the best teammates, that I've had in my professional career on Panathinaikos, which was awesome. My wife had friends and kids. There was a bunch of kids on the team that our kids can hang out with. And off the court, we had just such a fun time. And we were playing, good basketball. We were 6th in the EuroLeague, top 6 at this point, fighting for a playoff spot. So, things were going well, and I was playing good, shooting the ball really well, was being very efficient and everything. But, Europe is definitely a different type of basketball than China was. So I definitely had to get used to that, not having the ball nearly as much and not playing as much, and the games are shorter and different things. So, there's a learning curve, but, ultimately it was a great experience.
And Rick Pitino was the head coach. What was that like? Mark Pope's old college coach at Kentucky.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely different. He's a very passionate, fiery guy. And, he doesn't make it easy on his players for sure. And he wants to, get the best out of them. He makes you work hard. Our film sessions were definitely brutal. He came after us quite a bit and showed us what we were doing wrong and right on a daily basis. And, so you wanted to make sure you put forth your best effort every day, just so you didn't get on film. But it was a cool experience. And obviously now he's going to be coaching back in college again.
At one point after a game, he defended your defense specifically in a game and kind of talked about that narrative, whether that's true or not, right? What did that mean to you to have your coach kind of defend a part of your game that's been picked at a little bit over the years?
Yeah, it's great to have that recognized. When you play, do something good on the defensive end of the floor, it's good to be able to have someone at least say, you did a good job, and not just kind of glaze over it and not actually say anything about it. So that was good, and I think it, opened up some people's eyes to kind of look at that and see, if I've improved in that area and everything. So, I mean, in Europe, they're definitely going to try to attack, who they think are the weak defenders. So the guys try to come after me and everything. And I think I did a pretty good job doing the best I could and, held my own in that end of the floor. And I think it was good to get recognized for that.
Jimmer Fredette with us on BYU Sports Nation via Skype on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline. Jimmer, you mentioned that the games are shorter and that there are some significant differences in European basketball compared to what you're playing. And so walk us through that. How different are things?
Yeah, it's definitely very different. I mean, it's a game-by-game situation in Europe. It's all about matchups and tactics and different things, whereas in China, you're going to play no matter what. You're going to have the ball no matter what. You're going to shoot and do everything no matter what. Whereas in China, in Europe, it's definitely a game-to-game basis. If the team just doesn't, have a matchup for you, you may not play very much that game, or you may not shoot the ball very much that game. It might be a post guy, gets the ball and he's the one that's scoring that game just because we match up better against that. So they're very much into that. And because of it, you never know what you're going to get on a game-to-game basis. You just have to be prepared and ready. You play only one game a week in the EuroLeague, and then you play one game a week in the Greek League. So usually we're playing 2 games a week. So you're playing a little bit less, practicing a little bit more, and kind of more prepared for the games when they come.
What's your contract situation? Did you sign a multi-year deal with Panathinaikos, and are you headed back there next year potentially?
So I have a 2-year deal with Panathinaikos, but the second year is a player option. So it just kind of depends on, what happens for the rest of this year. So, I could be back. I could be somewhere else. I've enjoyed my time there, but at this point, you just kind of worry about what's going on and figuring out what's going on with the rest of the season first. And then after that, we'll figure it out this summer.
Is Europe potentially the landing place the rest of your career?
Maybe, I'm not positive yet. It could be. China is always also a great option for me as well. And if an NBA team calls, we'll see. But that's, the option right now is to figure out what options are actually out there, at the end of this season. It could be in Europe, it could be in China, it could be somewhere else. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm definitely not, focused on one league or anything like that. I'm just focused on one situation, whatever is best for myself and my family at this point.
Jimmer, because this coronavirus situation is changing literally by the minute and it is so fluid, what's the rhetoric like with your team, and what are they telling you to do during this essential lockdown?
Yeah, mostly just, obviously stay safe first, be involved with the regulations and everything that's going on, and make sure that you stay safe. But, they want us to continue to try to work out as much as we can. A lot of the gyms and stuff are closed and everything. We realize that. So, my wife and I are just been doing workouts at home, together, and, getting ourselves and staying in shape and everything. And then once I can find a basketball gym to play in that they allow me to play in, I'll continue that as well. So you just try to stay in shape as much as you can, be prepared, be ready, stay professional, and hopefully I can do a pretty good job of that.
Tyler Haws is in Spain. He's in his apartment, kind of just stuck there. You talked about some of those guys. Brandon Davies is also in Spain, but he's with his family at least. Tyler mentioned he had some workouts via Skype. Have you had anything like that? Team workouts.
No, yeah, that's impressive. No, we have not had that at this point. And, maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe every team maybe they're starting a new trend, throughout the rest of the time, to have Skype workouts when the off seasons come. We'll see. But we haven't had any Skype workouts yet. But that's great for them.
Jimmer, as you are well aware, the CDC has limited everyone in the United States to people of 10 or fewer in gatherings. And so Jerem and I, with that in mind, drafted a 5-on-5 pickup basketball game with BYU Alltime greats yesterday. And we've revealed those teams. I, of course, drafted you with my first pick. I couldn't believe that Jerem left you on the board, but I am glad that you are a part of my team.
Well, I appreciate that, Spence, because, me and Jerem used to be good friends, and I feel the tide changing a little bit. Obviously, I think he made a great choice in Danny. I'm sure that's who we picked first. But, as a competitor, I'll still have that in the back of my mind.
We go back a long ways. Yeah, I'm recalling the Hartford game where you scored 19 as a freshman, and I was the sideline. Yeah. It's been a minute. 08, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I came in 07, 08. So it's been too long.
Yeah.
I don't like to be reminded of that.
You had 19 in that game, exactly.
How are you going to turn your back on your boy after that many years?
I turned my front. Listen,
I know. Jimmer, I've been to his house, as we've talked to before. I mean, it's.
That's right. You came to my house too. I forgot. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I came to his house. So I mean, I don't know what's going on, but we'll see.
I did draft Jackson just to have someone that I thought maybe could match up with you. Because who would you want to guard you? So I've got Danny Ainge, Michael Smith, Yoli Childs, Jackson Emery, Travis Hansen. Who do you want to pick you up?
Ooh, I'd rather go at Jackson because I just want to let him know that I still can destroy him. Jackson couldn't guard me back then. He can't guard me now. And I hope he hears that.
He'll hear it.
Listen,
he'll hear
and
it.
if he gets tired, I'm throwing Danny or Travis at you. That'd be fun. But
for sure. You guys have both teams, I feel like, have good defensive switching lineups. A lot of big guys on the team, not as many, short guys like me. So you guys can switch on and off.
And it was a fun conversation as we drafted this too, because it was like, okay, this is pickup. This is not a regular game. So there's a certain amount of physicality, right? No fouls are called, but you try and limit those, right? So Spencer's team is tremendous as well. Sean Bradley, that's going to be fun in pickup. Good luck going down the lane. Kresimir Ćosić, 6'11" length, Devin Durant, and Brandon Davies. So it's a lot of size there.
Extreme size. That's what I'm saying. I'm by far the shortest, and but I can get you a bucket. That's what matters.
No question, and that was the basis of why I picked you. Speaking of Brandon Davies, I have both of you on my 5-on-5 team. You had some matchups with him in the EuroLeague games. What were those interactions like?
Yeah, it was great to play against B. His team is very talented. One of the best teams in the EuroLeague. So they actually beat us both times this year when we played them. They were both close games, good games, and in both games we both played really well. But to be out there and just be able to compete against him again is something that's really fun. And we were able to exchange jerseys after the game in Barcelona and everything, which was great. And he actually had some members of the church out there that I was able to meet and everything after the game as well, which was really cool. So he's doing great things in Barcelona. I'm happy for him and his family. He's a great kid. He's such a hard worker and one of my good friends. So it was good to be able to battle against him. So,
Jimmer, let's finish with this. What would your message to the BYU basketball team be, given the unique circumstances they're dealing with?
Yeah, they just had such an amazing season this year, such a special season with Coach Pope coming in and really just energizing, this whole team. And I was really excited to watch and to kind of see the year. And they just kept getting better and better as the year kept going on, which was fun to see. So my heart goes out to those guys. It's special to be able to play, in March Madness. But, just to know that they had a great and successful season and they know that they were going to be in the tournament and they were going to be able to participate is something special in its own. And this is something, they didn't get to play in it, but they'll definitely remember that this was, a great season. It's something that, one of the only times that March Madness has never been a part of. So, they'll always be a part of that. And hopefully they can, get past it and just remember what they did as a group as they continue on in their careers.
For the record, 9 years ago today, you were destroying Gonzaga in Denver, where you are now. So it's good to have you back there.
Very good. Good memories. Hopefully you guys can play that game maybe sometime soon.
Jimmer, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, stay safe. Send your best to Whitney and your beautiful kids and your awesome dogs, and we hope that you're doing well, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. It was fun.
You got it. Jimmer Fredette on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, you know why, we show how.
Listen.